Um, oh, yikes. Yikes. We're not even going to touch on this one much tonight, boys, because I'm tired. I'm exhausted.
Can we touch on the
Wolf-
fact that Weghorst is now sitting fourth with 16 league goals?
and he spent a good chunk of the season injured.
Yeah.
Um, Weghorst, the workhorse, 4-1 beating for a while. It was the 0-4 again for Schalke. Not familiar, Schalke 0-4. Robbie Matando does get on the score sheet to kind of
To be,
Make it
put it this
make
way.
it make,
Look at it.
make it not as bad.
and
month-
good for him. Good for him, right?
Hey, last month they got one goal as a team. This month they've scored in every game.
It's true. McKinney's got a couple. Yeah, Matano got the hits. They're scoring now.
They're still a dumpster fire, but
Yeah, when you have a starting lineup full of injuries.
No.
No.
no, no, no,
Well, let's take it back to like the very beginning of the season. And how
No, we're not. We're not.
handle your business. You're bad.
I agree. We can't expect much from this team now. You're right. We can't,
right?
because they're pulling a bunch of youngsters now. That, yeah. I mean, Keenan said it, the injury list is longer than the starting lineup at this point. I agree with you there. But how the heck did you get yourself here in the first place? Steven, I will ask you this though, because again, Schneider comes out and says that he's backing Wagner for another season. And he echoed what you're saying right now, which is why I don't want you to even say it, because it's been said everywhere. And it's just the idiocracy, whatever that word is. Idiocracy, is that a word? It's just blowing my mind right now. That because based on what Wagner did in the first half of the season, it's enough to keep him safe to secure the job for next year. Steven, break that down for me.
So,
from a Schalke fan point of view.
Yeah, I've been looking at this in every article, just seeing like maybe it was a translation somewhere.
There it is.
But it was like Schneider was going so far as to say he would rather get fired himself than to fire Wagner.
I did not see that.
Yeah, he said if the board was overwhelmingly favorable of firing Wagner, he'd rather take the fire than Wagner. For whatever reason, he's super loyal to Wagner right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know why he thinks that first half of the season was good enough to keep him on. But yeah, the things that he's been saying about keeping Wagner on, about how loyal he is to him. I don't know. So something.
Do we get to a point where they just both get sacked?
I mean, I've seen that actually happen before, or like in history, like where you're both gone.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of it, I don't want to lose Schneider because of how well he's done as far as keeping players here. He was on the verge of keeping Nubel at Schalke because of everything. He's on the verge of making something with that squad, but he's just so loyal to Wagner for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know if it's because maybe that's something to do with how he was with RB. I don't know. But he's been super loyal to Wagner for whatever reason. And maybe because he thinks, oh, well, if maybe we were fully healthy, maybe it'd be a completely different story. I don't know what to think.
I appreciate that, Steven, because I don't either. And I thought maybe our insider could bring some wisdom into that. But Keenan said it, it's a dumpster fire. Continue to watch it, boys. Continue to watch it. Something's got to go. Something's got to go.
I mean, I think there's going to be I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of players not coming back next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of
I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to lose a lot of players. Some players that may not deserve it, but there's going to be a lot of players not coming back.
And shots at the physio staff too, which I thought was interesting because you touched on that. Poor conditioning coming back from the break. But I'm like, hey, I mean, look at the Premier League. These guys are capable
Yeah.
of doing like. I'm critical of it too because, like, as I said last week, I'll stand by it as the manager. You have to take like I don't care if this is unprecedented circumstances. You got to
Yep.
step up to the plate and say, I'm
Yep.
going to make sure that my team's fit. Now, obviously, we're seeing across the board that hasn't really been the case. A lot of teams come back looking sluggish. But hey, if you want to punch with the big dogs, you got to put the work in. So
Yep.
we shall see. Paulie, anything you want to say about that one? PG rated, maybe PG-13.
I'm just glad to see Wolfsburg get a clear win, I guess. It was just a tough season for them with injuries, people in and out. And yeah, it was good to see something fun happen before I have to put these transfers away for Wolfsburg.
Yeah, and I mean, shouts to them. Does that secures Europe for them too, right?
Yep.
So big for them being Europa.
And
solid
they're
team.
and this I think this also helps Wolfsburg going forward in Europa as well.
Oh yeah,
especially,
true. Yeah, I haven't wrapped up. Right.
especially with them not having to move far since it's going to Germany. They're not having to go like somewhere else to travel across Europe. They're going to stay right there in Europe and Germany. So that's going to help out Wolfsburg a lot too.
Very, very true. Very true. And already a team with good finances. And I'm not sure good is relative, right, in this COVID time. But getting that boost again, not only playing in Europe right now, but then also guaranteed for next year. I think they'll continue to be able to invest in some quality talent.
Be crazy if they go on to win the whole Europa thing.
Crazier things, and we'll continue to talk about this, but the benefit to the Bundesliga getting that restart a little bit earlier, teams being able to get in rhythm, where some of these other teams, their leagues just started. I know you touched on that, Steven. And then also their teams will be ending later,
Yep.
which will bump up to Champions League. So there is a give and a take to that. If your team's in bad form, maybe it's going to help them get into form by the time Champions League comes around. But I think for Europa, if you're in bad form right now domestically, you may not have enough time to turn things around, as we get into those Europa games. So we'll see that. But yeah, go Wolfsburg. I'll love to see it.